In a perfect world, when you're selling your home, the process from start to finish can move very quickly. So if you price your home correctly and it's marketed well, buyers come in, you get a great offer or multiple offers, and you get to choose an offer. The offer is accepted. The buyer either gets their financing through a mortgage or they're paying cash. All of the contingencies are satisfied, meaning they're approved for their mortgage. The appraisal, it appraises for value, home inspection is done, and that works out well, and then you can close. Or they're a cash buyer and they may have some contingencies like a home inspection, and then you get to close. And so this can all move, like I say, very quickly, anywhere between 30, 45, 60, 90 days at the most, you're in and out. And working with a real estate professional, you are going to hopefully be in the best position that no hiccups, no bumps in the road occur, and there's no surprises. However, that is in a perfect world. The question is can you sell your home if you have an open violation? It's a tricky answer, but I'll have it for you in just a second. Hi, I'm Mark Carton with Carton Real Estate Services in Queens, New York. Now, open violations are a can of worms, and an open violation can happen for a bunch of different reasons. So you can have an open violation. What that means is one of the departments that oversees housing has found out, has recognized that you have done something that isn't within the rules of law as it applies to your home or to the county or state, and it has been flagged, you've been fined, it's been added to your record for the property itself, and now this has to be cured, it has to be solved. So there's different levels of severity, and there's 4 different departments that oversee these potential violations. So one is Department of Buildings, and that's usually going to be the overseeing agency, Department of Buildings. So they see that you've added a structure, be it an addition to your home, an extension, you built a shed, you have workmen who have added a deck or a front porch, any of these things. That's usually Department of Buildings. Then there's HPD, which is Housing Preservation Department. And that is usually when there's a tenant. Now, the tenant might be in an illegal basement, or you've done something else to where they've complained, and there's a record, the city comes out, and now you have a violation that has to be cured, solved. The third one is ECB, Environmental Control Board, and that usually has something to do with plumbing. So also illegal basement is ECB because it's plumbing. So if you've added an illegal bathroom without permits and all the approvals, you've got issues. So that's 3. And then 4 is Department of Transportation, and that has to do with sidewalks. So that's an issue. The sidewalk is owned by the city, but if it's part of your property, then you're responsible for its upkeep. So this is usually if there's an upheaval because of roots for trees, you could be fined, and that has to be cured. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? And all these are very frustrating, but most of them are at your hand as the homeowner because you've done something to the property that was noticed and fined, and depending on the department, those fines are clicking. Department of Buildings, usually you're fined once, but ECB, Environmental Control Board, those fines continue. Every couple of months, they will refine you. So this can get very expensive very fast. All these different things complicate your ability to close because no buyer wants to take on your problem. They want free and clear title. Now, these are all things that are publicly known. What's not publicly known is when you did something that hasn't been recognized by a department. So not by Department of Buildings or ECB, because you had workmen come in, they did this, you've enjoyed this improvement to your home for years, but now you're going to sell. And now it's on the market. And now you have strangers coming in. You have open houses, you have real estate agents, you have your neighbors. Somebody's gonna blow the whistle. All right, so you added a bathroom to your garage and you turned it into a little home studio or another bedroom. Somebody's going to look it up, see that it's not permitted, and they're going to complain. And now this is going to be an issue for you to close. So it's very important when you go to sell your home that you disclose everything. If the real estate agent doesn't pick it up on their own, that you share this information, because most, if not all of these issues can be resolved, but we want to do it before you have a buyer who wants to close, because that buyer, if this is not dealt with to their satisfaction, and that's usually monetarily, which means you're going to lower your price, or you're going to cure it, which is going to be monetarily, and in turn take months and months and months because of COVID, because of all of the issues with all of the city departments are delayed. To get something updated takes time, and time is of the essence. Remember, you want to get in and out as quickly as possible. So the short answer, too late, the short answer to the question is that if you have open violations, depending on what it is, if it's very minor, maybe it can be solved and you are able to close. But if your buyer is getting a mortgage and an appraiser has to come out and they see an issue, they have to make that as part of the report. The bank's not going to approve it, especially if it's something revolving plumbing or habitability, which means that there's an illegal basement, risk of fire because you made changes that were not permitted and inspected and approved, okay? This is complex. So if your home is exactly the same as when you purchased it and all you did were cosmetic improvements, or all the improvements that you did were properly permitted, then you don't have an issue. But if you do have work that has not been recognized as being illegal, or you do have open violations, these have to be taken care of before you start the process of selling your home. That's a lot of information, and I'm happy to speak to you one-on-one. Again, there are solutions to every issue. It's just a matter of time and money. My name is Mark Harton. I look forward to speaking with you, and I wish you the best of luck in the sale of your home.